Hi guys, Docalpha here, and welcome back to this beginner's tutorial, this time chapter 3. Right in the beginning we do a little trick. We use the mechanic that while the game still blends in the actual scene, you already can move Alice. So I will start far ahead from the normal spawn point because I already move before you can see her. We use it a second time, right in a moment when we enter the door here. It is a little bit different angle than the first one, but you normally can get it. If not, you only lose a very little amount of time. In the actual room up here, it's a bit more difficult to get it, because if you turn around, or if you press backwards, as you can see here, the camera will flick and you have to correct your angle or your movement direction. So be careful with that and just practice it a few times so you get a feeling for what direction you get for the initial turn. Right here, when you actually smoke the pipe, I guess, you can move before the camera moves back onto Alice, even though you can't see her, like here. So try to get a bit more distance from the pipe at first, and then walk towards the actual floating rock, because you can get stuck at the big construct the pipe stands in. Right here you can jump directly to the vent if you do 3 normal height jumps. And if you really needed a glitch jump, I did show it this way because I wanted to kind of show that you do not need to do it and still have a decent time, only loses a couple seconds. So it's a midway between I'm certain I can do these high jumps and the really fast part, or the not too fast part where you kill the enemies but only lose a little. There are 2 things happening here. First, I want to get some damage in, because the next fight will be faster if I can get Hysteria. Even though I did pick up some health roses, that was not a huge. Second, you need to know that this guy only is vulnerable every other second. Or not literally every other second, but you need to have some time in between shots. That is why I do not switch the pot here to get the fast refill, but I fire whenever the shot action or teapot action is ready. Except for the big head here, which is acting kind of weird this fight. I'm not sure why. This big head is vulnerable whenever you hit it. Only these small masks have some invincible frames, let's call it like this.
I'm devastated. Look what's become of my beautiful valley.
All things change in the fullness of time.
If possible, you want to enter this fight with as low health as possible to get instantly the Hysteria, which I didn't make fast enough here, but it's still fast enough, I guess. Hysteria really speeds this up because there are too many enemies to kill it with the normal teapot shots without refilling. So Hysteria, especially with the big guy, helps out a lot. Try to pick up a very little amount of health back, like 1 rose or something, to be able to get fast Hysteria again in the next fight coming up. I personally do use the Hysteria on the next fight part, not this one, because killing these enemies, especially on easy, is quite fast. Here I forgot this guy, or rather I thought I killed him with my last shot, but he somehow survived. I guess he just spawned there. This part is a lot faster if you actually use Hysteria, because of this three-headed guy again. In this case it's not too bad, but my T-bot shots would have overheated, so I really wanted to have the Hysteria here. The skip here looks a lot scarier than it actually is. The invisible platform we jump to is exactly reachable with 3 normal jumps, no glitch jump needed. And I died. Doop. This jump I'm doing here, I will do a glitch jump in a moment, but you do not need a glitch jump. I just did it for convenience, and because I was annoyed, I died already 2 times here, which is not even remotely what I should do, but I kinda derped there and I don't even know what I did there. I left it in because I dislike to cut my video here. I want to present a lively run and not a perfect, non-existent without failures or whatever. That is just stupid, so I left it in and showed if you mess up, you just try it again, or if it comes down to it, you can just switch the strats and do a slower one to remove the possibility of failing again, I guess. These guys can be a bit finicky at first, but you only need to time your shots. And you need to know where this guy here spawns. That's why I'm looking up the sky to see when he actually comes down, because it is possible to shoot him while he's still in the air. But I missed here and hit the second guy by accident. But it was a fast fight. Back in the day, this was my most feared skip in the game, because this jump here sometimes is a bit weird, because you have to go really far out and you need to do the glitch jump, else it's quite close to make this skip. Also, this angle here, I do measure from the vent on the left, and it's not even too close or too precise. You just need a general direction, I guess, to hit the death barrier, which is actually pretty big. The side-scrollers in this game are quite boring. Most of the time you only need to press right on the joystick or the direction buttons and barely ever need to stop in your path or wait. If you need to wait, it's a game-forced wait, or in that kind, a wait because the camera is too slow. Else, just try to either imitate my movement here or the skips. If you want to call it skips, I would rather call them only strats, I guess, because there are no real skips in these side-scroller parts. Or you just do the casual version, which is nearly as fast. There's not the biggest time saves in these parts of the game.
Foolish believe suffering is just wages for being different.
In this area you need to avoid a couple things to prevent enemies spawning. At first go into this vent, go around the stone platform and do not cross the two brushes there, but stay to the left on the outside. Go further, do not cross the brushes again, do not touch the stone, skip the second vent here and go up here immediately and jump just over to the last part of this area. This skips all the enemies and also the scrolls won't move, which makes it a little easier to not die there. Be careful, the fire signs still kill you instantly sometimes. The slide here somewhat has several solutions to do it fast. Just go down, I guess. There's only one part where you actually have to be, and that is the next curve upcoming, where I will jump down in a moment onto the box and skipping a switch thus. If you want to do this jump pretty consistent, try to hold right on your controller or your keyboard at the moment of takeoff and press the A button to get a slide jump, edge jump. If you're too slow or you did float in the air, which also makes you slow, just hit the switch on the ground. Here, kill the tablet because the wasps will be annoying if you miss it the first time. And go up here with a simple glitch jump. If you can't make it, try it a few times. Just run in circles until you get it. Because the fight itself is quite long. There are a lot of enemies to kill. So it is definitely worth it, even if you do not make it within even 3, 4, 5 tries.
This is terrible.
Get to the tree, Alice. Help our brothers.
The next area, the skip in it, is a lot easier if there are no enemies. To get that, just hug the wall on the left here while shrunk all the time. Be sure to not unshrink too early. And then you can run around and there's no fight trigger here. Get on a tablet, jump onto the platform here. Do not jump into the corner to the right. And here there's a small trick. Turn to the left a little bit, as you can see Alice's direction she's looking at, and shrink. Then it prevents you from falling down and makes the skip actually consistent. There are 3 drifting ruins in this part, but the third will only spawn if you hit this invisible platform, so be sure to actually land on it and not jump directly to this box, as you would do when you already did the fight a couple times. To open the door to the trunk, you only need to kill this one wasp here. The second one is optional and you can just walk by it. And if you're good enough, not like me, you can actually dodge the hits of it. moment we will do a skip we call the lion head skip, because we jump on the lion heads. Doing that skip is kinda hard at first, because you need quite precise jumping and a definitely glitch jump there. But if you can make it, it's quite a lot faster, because the platforms you normally raise with a switch are really slow to get you over there. So I personally would recommend to practice this skip, even if it is a bit hard, with the glitch jump included, but totally worth it. Here at first I messed it up, second jump I did forget I do a beginner's tutorial, and in the third one I finally make it. I'm the best. Not.
Still, they stayed on, trying to placate their oppressors and recover their past. The cruel interlopers attacked at intervals instead of killing them all at once. The wretched
Humiliation.
survivors suffered in perpetual fear.
I haven't died on these arrows in a long time, and if you learn the patterns once, you really shouldn't, because they shoot always at the same timing and at the same distance, direction, position, everything. You even can make it without stopping if you do learn the pattern. This invisible wall I will jump onto right now is quite big. Just jump far enough and then only move by dashing, and jump forward here just more or less straight. Dash at the end and you will definitely die here and already made the jump. Be careful, you can move here before the cutscene ends and also before the camera shows Alice, as I did. And I completely messed up and died because I was impatient and should really have waited. If you do learn the part, in my opinion it is possible to do it blind, but the moving camera could be a little issue.
It's not enough that they abuse and murder us. They let their spawn feed on our rotting corpses.
Another cutscene you can move during, but here the camera is also moving, so it's kinda hard. But if you're lucky, or I guess if you learned it, you can get through the door and up until here before the cutscene even ends. But I did it like once or twice ever, because the door is quite hard to actually hit. One more thing for the fight we just did, try to have some health when you leave it, even if you need to pick up the health of the big guy you killed, the Colossus, because this arena fight in a moment is the hardest fight in chapter 3, maybe even in the game, I would personally say. So try to either have enough health or have as little health as possible to get Hysteria here.
A restless seeker on private business arrived in the misery-infested land. She, despite ignorance, uncertainty, and unhappiness in her own life, could not endure to see them suffering. She began to fight against the savage murderers, abusers, and defilers without quite knowing why or for whose sake she truly fought, or how the struggle would end.
Even if you don't make this jump right now, you can wait for the platform moving up and down, get on it and jump from the platform to the lower lion head who shoots fire at you to make this jump here, to skip the lever on the top left part. thanks for watching, hopefully you learned something, and maybe I see you next time. Bye bye.